It just takes a minute.
Okay,
Oh,
there we go.
yeah, we got the little
There we
ding.
go. Okay.
So we're officially on now. So let me check on my YouTube page real quick just to make sure everything's good to go. Let's see
Yeah.
here. Because it'll say something like live event or
Mm-hmm.
something or other.
Okay. Cool. Sorry if people are going to see this or if we're getting the technical issues worked out. So
Yeah, yeah. This is our first time doing this. So.
yes, we're virgins. Be gentle. So.
Yes, you're quite gentle. All right, let's
So,
see here. All right, it's cutting me. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So we're live, and
okay.
I'll just send this out. I'll share it. So there's a little thing in the corner you can check it out. Actually, through the YouTube page. So we'll see if it works here. Just quick test.
Okay. Yeah, one thing for me, I need to get this sorted is that
Oh.
my when using my personal Facebook stuff, I do that through Firefox, but my Bushido Devil Dog stuff, I've got that all on Internet Explorer, and that kind of maybe there's more IT savvy guys will be able to tell me how to do this, but for me that was the only way I could create a Facebook page that was completely separate from my personal info. So
Yeah.
I don't want to respect to the guys like Kurt and Victor who Molly who put all their stuff out there, but I got warrants, so I can't have my real names. So, yeah.
Oh, sweet. For me. All right. So it is live for realsies. I just checked on my phone, so we'll send out the links and everything out so that way people can watch this here.
Yeah, I just heard a little back echo of my voice, so.
Yeah, I was just checking it on my phone just to see if it worked.
Okay, that's what it was then. All right, cool.
So there we go.
Any viewers? I'm not really looking on the page myself just yet, so Firefox.
I haven't seen it yet, but
let me go to my subscription page. See what's going on here. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing that popped up in my new feed.
But it is up though.
Okay.
So.
Well, if not the worst come to worst, if it's not completely live now, at least if you save it and record it as recording, maybe cut out some of the technical issues part, and we can do it as a regular video later. So I think that's what Molly does. So.
Yeah, and this on Kevin does something similar too.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to may not be exactly live like 2.5 Oyajis this time, but hey, we'll live and learn. So.
That's right.
Cool.
All right. So let's get this show started.
Yeah,
Welcome, gang. This is the Dog and Squid show. I'm your host, the Andy San.
And I would be the other half, Bushido Devil Dog. So, welcome. I'm the Devil Dog part of this half-assed operation. So I guess just quick background to me. I was active duty in the United States Marine Corps, 88 to 93, and then was reserves 96 to 98 while I was going through school. During that time, I was stationed in Okinawa for a year and a half, deployed to the Philippines, and got my ride to and from the United States Navy. Thanks, gents. And I was there during the Gulf War, got there 2 days before they started the air campaign of the first Gulf War, 1991. So, and then we left. We arrived January 15th, 1991. Got back went back to Okinawa. Left there May 15th, 1991, which was exactly 1 month to the day because Mount Pinatubo blew up June 15th, 1991. So left there 1 month before the base basically kind of got wiped out by all the heavy ash that collapsed a lot of the buildings.
Wow.
So back to Okinawa. Then my last duty station was Paris Island. I was a Hollywood Marine for my boot camp, but then my last duty station was Paris Island, South Carolina, and then reserves was in Indiana. So that's a little bit of my military background. I know, looking at YouTube, you're going to bring out the haters. People say,
Oh,
"Oh,
totally.
yeah," they're going to say, "Bullshit, stick boy, you weren't no Marine, freaking, you're too small, blah blah blah." But all right, I got my secret ID info. There's my ID from back in the day.
Yeah.
So I've got different pics around here I'll put up as needed for the show to show that, yes, Marines come in all shapes and sizes. One of the best quotes was, I find Marines, I forget who said it, it was some famous person, but said Marines come in two sizes, big and mean or small and mean. I think I'm on the other, the small and mean side of things. So.
Oh yeah. And I'm kind of on like the opposite side of the spectrum. People think that I'm like way too fat to be in the Navy.
Really?
I'm thinking to myself, like, if you see like some of the other sailors, that I've seen, like, I'm actually one of the skinny ones,
All right. Okay. Yeah, that's I'm surprised people are saying that. But again, people are going to talk shit on YouTube for, just because it makes their life feel less pathetic, whatever. It's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get you guys. Yeah, fuck you."
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
okay, buddy. Sure. Yeah. We were both at the YouTube Hanami party. That's where we got the idea to do this. So.
Oh yeah.
And so we were talking, and then Mohammed, cool guy, he's got a few videos. Maybe we can, if we edit this or repost it, we can put his links in there as well. Cool guy. Did an impromptu interview of me, and I was talking about EIDO, and some guy out of the blue, is his entire channel is posting videos of guys he thinks are bullshit. "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, man. You're bullshit. You're bullshit. This is fake EIDO. You don't know what you're talking about." But of course, he has no videos of his own.
Oh, of course.
Showing his badass ninja, sword skills.
Yeah.
And so he, got on there and was like, "Oh yeah, you don't know what you're talking about." And I'm like, "Okay, guy, whatever. I'm only here in Japan training with the masters, but yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about." So. See, you're going to get those guys, but anyway, I just thought I might put that out there a little bit. And here's another one. I've actually got my boot camp book from back in the day. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah, you got your little cruise book?
Yeah,
I guess they call them something different for the Marines, don't they?
Yeah, it's not high school, so you really can't call it a yearbook. I guess we normally just call it your graduation, your platoon graduation, because that's how it's broken down. You got, for the U.S. Marine Corps, there were 6 platoons that graduated the same day I did, so we call that a series. Or actually, it was a company, and the entire company graduates. So, and then you have 2 series, so which is like groups of 3 platoons each. So, I'm not going to give out my platoon ID info names of exactly when I graduated because of stalkers, and some hot chick will try to come find me and have sex with me, and no one wants that.
Oh, totally.
So, but let me see. Try to get here to hide the names, so I don't know what I can see because I'm not getting my feedback monitor. But can you see that?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I'm right here, right there. That's me. My boot camp photo. Hoorah!
Hoorah!
So yeah.
Oh man. I actually got some little Navy stuff right over here. Hold on just a second. I'm just gonna grab it real quick.
Yeah, sure, grab it, because the idiots are gonna be like, "Oh no, you're not really in, you're bullshitting." But all I gotta say, trolls, dudes, get a life. I mean,
Yeah.
we have no motivation to come up here and feed a line of BS. I'm not an expert on everything under the sun. I maybe say things or misspeak like I'm doing right now. But come on, man. You're not proving anything by you were wrong on this or fuck you or whatever. Dudes, just chill. So, but yes, I really did. So, despite these massive guns, I really did 5 years. Yeah,
it's in there somewhere.
Yeah. So people think it's not muscle that gets you through; it's heart that, you know, no matter how stressed out, dogged out, tired you are, you keep going, you don't quit. So
Yeah.
that's what it's about. It's not about meat, you know, it's about heart. So.
Yeah, I remember reading a book about like a Navy SEAL going through training,
Mhm.
and that was one of the things he said. You know, he wasn't like the big, strong, tough dude. He
Right.
just was the one that just kept going, and like all these
Yeah.
other like pretty legit tough dudes were just
Mm.
dropping like flies after a couple weeks, but he just
Oh
kept
yeah.
going.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
And that's, you know, saw it in my time. And one guy that I served with, I'm, you know, a big strapping 5'7". This guy, he was if this he was a corporal. If he was 5 foot even, I would be surprised. He was like 4'11" maybe, barely
wow.
5 foot. But this guy could run his ass off. I mean, you know, I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
him going
bet.
along, he would gone. So.
Yeah, 8 minute
So
mile and a halfs.
or faster. Yeah, he
Yeah,
could
or
haul
faster.
ass.
Jeez.
You know, despite those short little legs of his, and he was gone. So, but
Yeah.
so no, I really did serve. So guys, don't even waste your time. So no, you didn't. So anyway, but
Yeah.
that's the point of our
That,
video off air. Before we got to set up, Andy and we discussed that, you know, among the Japan vlog community or among YouTube in general, I don't think there's a lot of info, or I haven't searched, so I don't know, maybe there is, but I haven't seen videos of talking about the U.S. military experience, you know, because there is a large U.S. military presence here in Japan, and I don't think there's a lot of info out there of what it's like to be stationed here, you know, to be under the military restrictions, and just the situation that's going on for someone, what it's like to be stationed in Japan. There's been some crimes over the past 10 years while I was in college and stuff, so that's really caused a lot of controversy here in Japan, and everything I've seen is a translation of what the Japanese press is saying into English. It says, well, the U.S. forces need more discipline, more discipline. So talking with Andy, the point, the main thing I want to get out from tonight's broadcast is just talk what it's like to be under the U.S. military when I was in, you know, back in '88 to '93, and then what Andy has to live with now, because a lot of people don't realize, they have no idea what it's really like to live under, you know, the restrictions that are placed upon us, if there are restrictions. You know, Japanese press that I've seen, the thing maybe think that we're just, you know, like Viking barbarian, just going hog wild in Roppongi, you know,
yeah.
raping and pillaging, you know, on a daily basis, and that we need more discipline, but you know,
Yeah.
it's because they have no idea what it's really like. So that's the point of our broadcast. So
Definitely.
yeah, so I don't know where to, maybe a good start. Where would you start, maybe to compare what you're living under now, or maybe start with what I was under? What do you think? So.
Well, I could probably just start off a little bit with my own introduction. So,
Mm,
my name's Andy.
a good
I'm
place to
currently
start.
serving. Right. I'm currently serving in the United States Navy. I'm stationed in Yokosuka on board the USS Lassen. This is a
Oh,
challenge
nice,
coin from the CO that I got.
nice, nice.
And then before that, I was stationed in San Diego on the USS Kurtz, this is the
Mm.
decommissioning coin
Oh,
of the
oh.
USS Kurtz, FFG 38.
Mm.
So this is
No.
the other side of it.
Quick question. 38 special. Oh, good caliber.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
band too. Quick question. I know, even though I was in Navy, you know, you hang around enough, you pick up a few terms here and there, even if that's not your particular branch. Uh,
yeah.
when it's a new ship, the new guys are called plank holders, right?
Yes, they're
The
called
first
plank owners.
plank owners. Excuse me. Yeah, yeah, not plank
Yeah,
owner. Yeah.
yeah. I
So.
remember when we did the decommissioning ceremony for the Kurtz, we had a lot
Uh,
of plank owners come on board, and we actually
mm,
rang them on board.
mm,
So if somebody wanted to come on board to take a tour of the ship or whatever one last time, you cling the bell,
yeah.
plank holder arriving
Right. Well,
and stuff like that.
what's the opposite of that? So like that's the plank holder is the first crew, right? Or plank owner,
Yeah,
excuse me. Say it right,
yeah.
damn it. Dumbass Marine. So plank owner is the first crew that serves on the ship. So what's the last crew? Do they have a special word for that?
I'm not sure exactly. I always heard that we were just the decommissioning crew or the
Okay,
decom
okay,
crew.
okay.
I'm sure there's a special word for it, but it was
No,
never mentioned to me.
okay,
So
well, maybe that's it then. It's not as much of a
yeah, it's not that
thing to.
glamorous.
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of sad. I mean, I was only on 2 ships, so yeah, a little bit more about me. From Okinawa, I deployed to the Philippines, and we went there on the St. Louis, which was an LST, flat bottom ship, which made me puke my guts out.
Oh
Not
yeah.
ashamed to admit. And then on the way back was on the St. Louis. So I think one of those ships is now like paper clips or something, and the other is still in service like Argentina or whatever. I'd have to look on Wikipedia to see it. But
Yeah. I actually found out that the USS Kurtz was bought out by Mexico, and
yeah.
I got this from my old captain. He said that they were bought out by the Mexican Navy, and like Mexico has like a weird tie with the Kurtz, and that
Mm,
the namesake of the Kurtz, Admiral Kurtz, died in
mm,
Mexico.
no.
Our last overseas port visit was in Mexico, and they're being
Mm,
bought out by the Mexican Navy, so that's
uh,
pretty legit. So
uh,
so now he calls it 38 Especial.
no. Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to mention the last CO of the Kurtz was also a first generation Mexican American too.
Oh, there you go.
That
Hmm.
was really interesting for our like port visits because he visited a lot of big wigs from like other navies in Central America, and he didn't need a translator, so I thought that was pretty
No.
legit.
Yeah, that's cool. But when I was that's another Navy connection for me. When I was in junior high, my stepmother joined the Navy. She
Mm,
was a AM, basically an airframe, AMH, airframe mechanic hydraulics. She worked on the hydraulic systems on planes, and we
okay.
were stationed at Naval Air Station Corpus Christi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so the local junior high school there, uh, they had every summer they had would have a Mexican Navy ship that would come up to Corpus Christi, and then the band members they would take them on like a week cruise down to Mexico, and they would this for like a junior high band, not even high school. You could do this between if I would have done it, it would have been between my 8th grade and 9th grade year. So in between going junior high to high school. And they take you down there for a week. You play a couple concerts and just basically a paid vacation, in courtesy of the Mexican government
Man.
for no idea why. No idea why they had this connection with this school or why they did it for
Well,
this band. It was, no military thing connection whatsoever, but the Mexican government would do that for the school I was going at. But unfortunately, my former Marine double dog dad,
double dad.
1966, yeah, yeah, Marine veteran, Purple Heart recipient, wounded in Vietnam. He passed away that summer, and then so we moved back to Indiana. So I didn't get to go
Um,
on this cruise, but it was another bizarre Mexican Navy thing there. So.
yeah.
And also more my experience. I was a Navy dependent, so in my early, formative years there. So, but anyway, so more about I guess now you finished your intro, Andy. Good.
Yeah, I was I think I finished it, yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
One thing I didn't say. What are you? What are you? If you don't mind giving out, what are you doing for the Navy? So what's your MOS? Your rate,
uh
I guess.
my rates, yeah. Yeah, the Navy does things weird.
Mm,
Like most other branches they call it an MOS, but the Navy
right.
decides to call them rates.
Right. All
I
right.
don't But yeah, my rate is an STG, which
Mm,
is sonar tech for surface ships.
mm,
So
mm,
I basically like, hunt, track, classify subs
mm.
and perform in anti-submarine warfare exercises, which, out here are a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That's closest thing I got to that is I like to play certain sub sims, but that's about as close to the extent of my knowledge of that. But all right, so you're the more operator or technician side of it,
Well, the thing is,
or do they do
op-
both?
well, kind of, sort of, I guess, but you have your operator and you have your tech. So operator
Mm,
just they basically operate the gear, but if
right,
something breaks, they don't really touch it. The tech
right.
is also an operator, but if stuff breaks, they're in charge of fixing it. Now, on my
Mm,
old ship, the USS Kurtz, I was a tech. I was
mm,
a 56 tech for any of you ping jockeys out there. So for
uh,
the 56 sonar system, which is a hull-based sonar system for exclusive to frigates.
mm.
And when I was up for orders when we were decomming, they didn't have any orders available for 56 techs because they're starting to phase out frigates. So
Oh.
obviously they have less demand for a 56 tech. So I asked them, because I really wanted to go to Japan, I asked them if I could
Mm,
maybe learn the new sonar system to make myself a little more marketable and
right.
stuff like that. And they agreed to send me to school for 2 months to basically get my operator qual, and that's how I was
Mm.
able to come out to Japan. So I was a tech on an old system, but I'm currently an operator on the new system.
Oh, okay. See, a little
So
bit, a little bit of
yeah,
both
so look at
worlds.
yeah, exactly. And I'm actually glad to be an operator uh,
Mm.
for this system rather than a tech, just because this system's a little too finicky for my taste. The old system
Uh,
that I worked on was just a brick shit house. Like, you
yeah.
know,
Right.
we'd do all kinds of crazy stuff to it, and it would still keep working. But this new
Mm.
system, I mean, without giving classified stuff out, it's just
Yeah.
finicky.
Right. Here's this was from my reserve days. This was our summer camp. Uh, it's me doing my thing. Uh,
Uh,
actually, you can't see it, but civilians aren't going to get this, and maybe even you won't. But actually, I'm playing with my prick here. So what?
what? You
What the
got both
hell does
hands.
that mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's got
yeah.
both
Both,
hands on the table and
both, both
everything.
hands are visible, but I'm playing with my prick.
Yeah, he's just doing nothing pretty
Yeah.
much.
Well, no. That's yeah. See, different branches have their different slogans or different how do you say specialty language. Senmon Yogo in Japanese. Been here so long, I want to default to that first. But no, I was a ground radio repair guy. So, and the radio, this actually I think is a yeah, that's a UHF radio, but it's out of frame. But in this pic, I'm troubleshooting a PRC 77, or
Right
as we
on.
would call it, Prick 77, which is
So,
portable radio configuration.
so
So
you are literally playing with your prick.
playing with my Prick, yeah.
Oh
So,
man.
so that was one of the things we would do is get new guys in there to a new unit. It's like, yeah, hey, could you go ask the master sergeant to get you a Prick E8? Right? So I
Yeah.
want to. You have a prick E8? Oh, I'm a prick, huh? Oh, get the fuck out of here. So a little bit of
Isn't that
hazing there.
funny?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah. That's the good stuff, man. So I guess like Navy-wise, your equivalent would be like an ET or an IT, I guess.
oh, okay.
Since
Yeah,
since you since you dealt with radios and stuff.
right. Yeah, so we were ground. I was ground to ground. There's ground to air, then ground to ground. So I was ground to ground communications, radio repair, electronics repair.
Okay.
But my unit on Okinawa was also basically was a engineer support unit, and we would often do field exercises. So even though I was a repair guy, there was more than a couple times I was it was like, okay, it's your turn. So I did my own share of radio humping, on my
Yeah.
back. So I got to do a little bit of the operator because even just doing the function checks, you have to know how to operate the damn thing after you fixed it. So. And then when I deployed in the Philippines, I actually was, as the senior Marine there, I was actually a team leader for, 4-man communications team for an entire company. So that was a hell of a lot of responsibility. And plus, it was a tactical environment as well, in that because the politics that was going on, we got imminent danger, aka combat pay, while we were there.
Yeah.
So, because a couple Air Force guys had gotten killed like a few months before we showed up, before we deployed there. They were out on
Wow.
liberty, and the communist rebels who have been fighting for 20, 30 years to make, the Philippines their perfect little communist vision country.
Dang.
They went up and shot right in the back of the head a couple of Air Force guys at Clark Air Base that were on liberty.
Oh
So,
wow.
yeah, they're out trying to go, get their drink on and get their honeycomb on there at the local lovely ladies, and next thing you
Yeah.
know, they're getting shot in the back of the head and killed. So it was, people don't know about that. That's kind of the point of tonight's broadcast, of stuff that people don't know about the U.S. military or overseas military service, is that stuff like that happens quite often and you never hear
Oh,
about it.
definitely.
You know, in these smaller areas where we're at, and so we were getting combat pay where we were over there. Every time we went out past the into the wire there, it was rounds, magazine in the weapon, so ready to go. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been in several, dangerous situations, not quite to that extreme. I mean, our visit to the Philippines was more
no,
on
you've
a
been.
mission of peace, because of that
Mm,
typhoon that happened recently.
yeah.
Our boat was, or our ship, I'm sorry, boats are submarines. I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
correct,
yeah,
I got corrected for that. So our
yeah.
ship
Right.
uh, was first on scene. We just got done with a port visit in
Mm,
Hong Kong, and the typhoon happened, and we were first on scene. And it
mm,
was real crazy because we went to one of the smaller islands because like the carrier and stuff like that was helping out the bigger islands because they're
mm,
easily accessible and stuff. But it was the hard like outlying islands that we were having trouble with getting. But we were first on scene with one of the islands, but we had to wait, for Alpha Zulu, the carrier, to
yeah.
give us the okay to do something and to tell us like what to do. But I remember when the helo was like doing like overhead stuff, just like looking around,
Mm-hmm.
and you'd see all these pictures of just everything just wrecked, and people holding up signs, saying need food, need water, need clothes, need
Yeah.
something,
Mm,
and it was just crazy because like for the first couple of days we couldn't do anything because we weren't given the big okay to do
mm,
something. So it's just
mm,
you'd see all these images and it's just like you know we were just saying we could get some people out on like the Rib. This is a little boat we have.
yeah.
It's a rigid hull inflatable boat. It's basically like a dinghy basically.
Right.
So we could get like some people on that, clear away, just maybe build a house or something, clear out the roads,
Mm-hmm.
do something. But without proper approval from the carrier, we couldn't really do anything. But then when we eventually did get the okay, um, we managed to gather like 20 plus boxes of supplies, ranging from like shampoos to food, to clothes, things like that, just overnight.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as we were given the word on what we're doing and how we're doing it, just we did like a donation thing, and people donated from their own stuff. People got stuff from the ship store. It's just an
Yeah.
outpouring of support from everybody, and we were able to send all those supplies on the helo, bring them out to the
Mm,
villages and to the small islands, and that was
right.
our big contribution to that.
Right, and that's glad you brought that up. That that's another thing that kind of the point of tonight's little chat here is that people don't realize that you know one sailor, one marine, one airman, one soldier, whatever, goes out, gets drunk, does something stupid. You know, uh, I don't want to bring the elephant in the room, but for one that stuck out on my mind was in the 1995, I think it was 1996 case where it was two so-called quote unquote two individuals who somehow managed to succeed or pass through boot camp in the United States Marine Corps. I don't want to actually call them Marines, but
Right.
and then one sailor, again, same thing applies to there. One individual who was, paid by the Navy, but obviously did not, you know, take to heart the values that both organizations tried to instill in you. They raped a 12-year-old schoolgirl, kidnapped and raped her in 1995. So that was the big impetus to, caused, of course, naturally,
Right.
a lot of, how do you say, hate and discontent and protests in Okinawa, and
Definitely.
also led to a lot of the restrictions that are now on the U.S. military. So for me, my time was I was in Okinawa from 1990 to 1991, about a year and a half. Um, and when I was in my time, we got there, flew into Kadena Air Base. had like a one night sleepover, whatever, you know, just a place to crash until we figured out which command we were going to. Then the next day, we had like a half day, maybe a full day, I'm not sure. Like in brief, welcome to Okinawa. You know, first thing they hammered into us, even back then, even before all this other stupid shit happened, you know, they hammered into us was like, you're not in Kansas anymore, okay there, Toto?
Yeah.
If you fuck up, your ass gets to go to Japanese prison. And guess what you get to do in Japanese prison? You get to
Fish
sit
heads
your
and rice.
yeah. You get to either work in the factory, or if you're not working in the factory, you get to sit your ass on the bare floor like this, you know, and do what they say, and, you know, for 23, 24 hours a day, you know, no plea bargaining, no time off for good behavior. If you get sentenced to 5 years, your ass is doing 5 years in prison. And there's not a damn thing the U.S. military can do to get you out of it if they decide, you know, to take the case up on the Japanese side of the house. So long story short, guys, look, this whole the brief, don't fuck up here.
Yeah.
Don't break their
Amen.
law. Yeah, don't break their laws because your ass belongs to them if they want to press charges. But that's what they told us, but the Japanese side, you know, and the politics and the press is that they think that American military has a get out of jail free card, and sorry, that's not what I was told, and that's not,
No.
you know, for the cases that they want to prosecute, that's not what happens. So.
Yeah. Did you hear about the recent one? It was like 2010 or 2000. I think it was like 2012 or something like that.
Okay, describe. I probably read about it, but
it was basically like these three airmen. They were stationed in Oki, and they were just like temporarily there, and they were like on their way back to their home command wherever it was, and they decided to do something similar. I think they like kidnapped and raped this Okinawan girl or something, and that was the whole big thing, was like the debate on, you know, who has jurisdiction over them. I mean, does the government, does like the U.S. have you know, jurisdiction, or
right?
You know, should the local law enforcement, you know, get their end of the, like, get a cut from them, I guess.
No, I hadn't heard about, you know, being Air Force guys, so being involved with something like that. The most recent ones that, you know, that I remember was a couple guys maybe breaking into a house or an apartment, thinking they were drunk and thinking they were like at their buddy's place who had a place out in town, or just too drunk to know where they were at, and, you know, breaking into a couple different houses. I don't know if in Tokyo or in Okinawa. Another one was some, I guess, Marine Staff Sergeant got into a disagreement with Filipino dependent, I guess, who he thought he was going to get some loving from, and then, you know, she's like, no, I don't, you know, that's not what I'm, you know, interested in, not tonight. And then he threw her phone away, and, you know, she claimed attempted rape, and, you know, he got, you know, I don't know if he was, what happened to him, but that was probably the more recent stuff that I've heard of. But
yeah.
Regardless of kind of the point, and from those incidents, you know, when I was on Okinawa, we didn't have to. When I went to the Philippines, we had to have a Liberty card, which in order to leave the base, we had to show that we were authorized to leave base to go on Liberty. And for the first month, because we got there 2 days before the Gulf War started, so that was the 15th. We got there January 17th. They started the bombing campaign against Saddam, you know, in the first Gulf War. And so when they did that, they locked down the base for a month, so no one could leave, because the New People's Army, our buddies that was helping us get the dangerous, you know, imminent danger pay, aka combat pay. They had promised to put in their press releases that, oh, if the U.S. starts any bombing campaigns in Iraq, we're going to attack the, you know, Subic Bay in force.
Wow.
Come on, you got the Navy there, and the Navy SEALs training there. You got the Marines there. We're like,
bring it.
come on, fucking bring it, you know.
Yeah.
because we just wanted, we're just looking for the case as Marines. We're a little psycho anyway to fucking be sitting
Mhm.
there, do 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 with the 50 cal gunny, do 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 do. I need more ammo, So we're like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, bring it, come on, man, what you got? But of course, they didn't do a damn thing. They didn't do a damn
yeah,
thing.
yeah. That's how it
So,
usually is.
yeah, so first month we were locked down, which being in the Philippines, this was back in the wild and woolly days when it was a huge liberty port, and that's another thing they've gotten more politically correct on since then. So,
Oh yeah.
sorry, ladies, maybe a bit misogynistic, but back in those days, Subic Bay was a place to go drinking and whoring. I mean, sorry not to put any glaze over the truth, but that's basically what it was. Those huge party towns, lots of girls there available for how shall I say, negotiable virtue.
Yeah. Eat
So
more than Lupe out there, let me tell you.
yeah. So yeah, and it was just a big liberty port, for these, young, dumb, and full of energy.
Full of
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, full of energy, we'll say.
Yes. Spunk.
Marine, yeah, that's one way to put it. Marines and sailors to go out and, especially for the Navy guys, respect to you dudes because, you know, I was on a ship basically about 5 days going to Okinawa and about 4 or 5 days, give or take, going back. And that was enough for me to say, fuck that shit. Being stuck in a ship in a tin can, with all these other dudes, which now that's no longer the case. Now you got
Yeah.
women there as well, but when I was in, it was do ask, do tell, stay the hell out if you're gay. No women on combat on Navy ships. Uh, that was my time in. So yeah, being on there in a stinky, humid metal room for 6 months every day. No, 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 no. So respect
Yeah.
to the gents who sign up for that, because yeah, I was like, that was enough for me.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. Especially because I mean, with being in the Navy, it's one thing like you go to work and you do your job and you go home, but
Mm,
with the Navy, it's like you know, you may not get along with so and so, but you still have to like live in the same
yeah,
proximity of them.
right. People don't. That's another thing people don't realize. That talking about the don't ask, don't tell. When I was in, like I said, I remember one of my memories of going to the MEP station, which stands for Military Entrance Processing Station, huh?
Yeah.
Is that they had a female doctor there who was, how shall I say, very mannish looking, and she's sitting here checking, like, do you have trick knees? No. Problem shoulders? No. Bad back? No. She's like, da da da, no. Homosexual? Just like out of the blue there. I'm like, no. I was like that close because, again, she was very mannish looking to be like, lesbian? Oh, no, no. Lesbian, well, in a man's body. Okay, no, no. Okay, no.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was before, but people don't realize that that controversy that came out of the don't ask, don't tell policy is that the people you work with, after you're done working with them, you have to go back home with them
Yeah.
quite often, and for me, I've changed my views in the days since. I used to be like, no, go gays, but being out of work for the past 2 years and literally worrying about my next meal has done miracles to you know, make me realize that I don't give a damn. Some dude wants to jiggle another dude's jimmies and that's his thing. Hey, go for it. I don't care. But still in the
Yeah.
military, I still can't get behind the, allowing them in the military. But now that's going to cause a lot of hate now. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I mean, I've worked with a couple openly gay people, and
yeah, so
I
that
mean
was
they're all
take
right.
on.
I mean,
Yeah,
my policy is, as long as they don't flirt with me, you'll be
right.
all right.
And that's the thing. In to the credit, I guess, of the pro gay side is that it hasn't been the end of the world that people who are opposed to it thought it would be. You know, Fine with me. That's cool.
Hmm.
So if they don't cause issues with it. But even before I was in before that, I would see some of the issues with the female Marines because I wasn't an infantry unit, and I was a support unit, so we did have females even in my own unit, my own shop.
Oh.
And there was always some kind of drama going on with someone trying to chase these girls stern and trying to get in their pants. So
Yeah.
there was always intrigue going on there, but luckily it hasn't been the issue people had said it was. But again, that was my time, and that's how things were, and it hasn't been the issue that people predicted it would be, which is hey, cool. Game on with that. So
Yeah.
but as far as whatever, so my time in back to the restrictions, which is kind of the point of this thing, try to stay on topic here. When I was in, I didn't need to go out with a buddy. I wanted to go out, leave the base at 2 in the morning on a weekday and go out, have a couple drinks in the bar, come back at 4 in the morning, get back up at 6, all by myself, good to go. I didn't need to get anybody's permission. I didn't need to bring a buddy along. I got there. I was 19 at the time, so not of legal age per U.S. law, not legal age per Japanese law either to drink, but they didn't care. Can you reach over the bar and pass your money? Yep. Okay. You're of legal drinking age. And so there was none of that, but I've read, so you can clarify this, and I'll shut up and let you do so, is that now you have to go out with a friend, or you have to be off the streets by a certain time, or you have to have like a card if you're under 21 or over 21, and I've read different stuff has been put in place, so maybe you can tell more about that, what it's like now.
Well, I think they've mostly done away with the card system.
Okay.
But right now, basically, if you wanted to go out and do stuff past 1900, you have to have a Liberty Buddy with you.
Okay.
And also, if you're going out drinking and you're not in like a hotel or your house or something like that, you have to have a Liberty Buddy with you. So I'm in my house. So
okay, yeah.
I'm being legit here, folks.
Yeah. So here's my Liberty Buddy. What's up, bud?
Yeah.
Capybara-san. He's my drinking buddy. So.
Nice.
And actually, speaking of which, I think now that my Corona is gone, it's time to get a little more local.
Yeah.
With some very nice sake.
Okay. Oh, nice.
I've had this for quite a while, but luckily, that's the beauty of alcohol. It keeps a long time, so you don't have to worry about it getting spoiled.
Yeah.
So okay. So yeah. So you got a difference. I mean. Right there, even though it may not seem so bad, but still, it's getting more like, yes, mother may I, nanny state, can I do this, can I do that? And for when I was in, it wasn't like that. I mean, what about cars? If you wanted to get a car, could you get your license to drive off base now, or?
Well, the thing is, anybody can get a Japanese driver's license, but you have to be E5 and up to actually own a car. And I think you have to be E4 to be able to drive a car. Like, anybody can get their license, but you have to be at least an E4 to drive. Then an E5 and up to own a car.
When I was in, it was starting to get that way. I was able to get my license because my unit, we had radio communications vehicles, Humvees with radios in them. It's another quirk in the military. They're considered radios that happen to be able to move, not things that can move, vehicles that happen to have radios.
Yeah. So it's a portable radio.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a radio that can move itself. So, and so I needed my Humvee license to be able to drive the vehicles around, and so I was sent to 1 week Humvee school, just driving around base. But that allowed me to get my off-base license, which basically it's like an endorsement, that I could drive off base. But I didn't need permission. I was Lance Corporal at the time. I got promoted to Corporal when I was in the Philippines. But when I came back, I was Corporal and I bought a car. And actually, glad I segued into that, because here's more pictures, a chance for me to show that that I never was a Marine. It's all complete bullshit. I'm just making this up to try to, make myself as a big stud boy. And I was able to get a whole platoon of other guys to fake it,
Oh,
That was,
totally.
yeah, that was a mess night for my reserve unit. But back to Okinawa time. I actually have my picture of my car here, my ride in Okinawa. And so I was
Nice.
able to buy this. And after partying it up at the Philippines and then coming back, I said to myself, well, I'm not going to be a barracks rat and just stay in the damn barracks the whole time.
Amen,
So,
brother.
so I bought a car from another Marine, and the thing blew up. I bought it on a Tuesday. The engine blew up on a Friday, and I had to buy a whole new engine for it. But this was me in my car in Okinawa.
Nice.
So you can probably, maybe, I don't know if you can see if it's enough pixel, but the little Y license plate there.
It's a little blurry. I can't see it.
Closer or further, it should be autofocus.
It's somewhere.
Kind of small.
Yeah, it's just really small.
Yeah, I can't see. Okay, yeah, actually there it is. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it just came into focus there for a second.
yeah. Now that I've got to see it. So yeah, the Y license plate. All the U.S. military has a Y license plate. The theory I heard was stands for Yankee Go Home. Oh shit! I just spilled my booze. That's a crime.
That's no bueno.
Yeah, that's no bueno. That's
Alcoholic casualty, alcoholic casualty.
well, time to get the straw and literally suck it the F up.
Yeah,
Hey, waste not, want not. So
exactly.
yeah, so I bought a car, and after I got my car, I think they started to like, oh, you got to be sergeant or above, to get your license, unless your unit approves. Like in my case, because I needed to drive, I would have got it anyway. But to have your own private
Yeah.
vehicle, you need to be sergeant or above. But there wasn't any. You're saying that it's now corporal or E4 above. That's another thing maybe to explain for the civilians that don't know. So for the Marine Corps, E4 corporal and above, it means you're an NCO, and it's the same for the Navy. So Navy E4, which is petty officer, third class and above, is, they don't call it an NCO, but it's being a petty officer. So now you can actually tell dudes what to do, and they got to listen to you. So they just they can't gaff you off and say, oh, fuck you, you don't have enough rank anymore. So yeah, from E4 and above, when you start to actually get a little more authority and legal support, if you tell some dude to do something, he doesn't do it, you can charge his ass for insubordination. And so, yeah, there was no restrictions as far as owning a car versus driving it. And so if you could get your license, you could do whatever you want, own the car, drive the car, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more restrictions in place and stuff like that. And I've been kind of critical about it myself. The whole thing of I'm 28 years old. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't need permission from mommy and daddy to go out to do something late at night.
You're 28.
But, yeah.
Shit. I thought you were younger than that.
But whenever I say that, I always see somebody out there doing something stupid.
Right.
And it's actually usually not the junior guys. The junior guys have actually been pretty good about it. It's the senior guys, because they think they can get away with it.
Yeah.
They've been getting away with it for so long, and then they slip up that one time, and they're fucked.
Yeah.
And they get to go see the old man.
Right. Yeah.
Lose a chevron or two, and
captain's mast, or office hours, as we call it in the Corps.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I got to unplug. You can still hear me. Just unplugged from the mothership. Here we go. Looking on the side. But I got to go, unfortunately, get paper towel to get some of this sake that I just spilled. Because this design of this cup has got a very small.
Oh, yeah.
Easy to tumble over.
Yeah. Right on.
That takes off the Great Cornholio.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So let me get. But,
I am the second leader, Horio. I need tiki from kids.
Are you threatening me? Yeah.
I want all your frappuccino.
Yeah. So that's okay. That's interesting to hear. But yeah, people don't know that. They don't realize that the U.S. military, we're kept on a short leash. Even back then, you would have. I'm loving my cordless headset now. Even back then, we would have I forget what it was called. Basically, it was like they would sign senior staff NCOs, which if it would be Navy, it would be like chief level or above, to go out, and they would kind of patrol the village. And if they
Yeah.
would see a Marine or any military personnel getting stupid, too drunk, causing problems, they'd bring their ass back onto base and possibly charge them if they did something really stupid.
Hmm. We
So
have something similar out here too. It's called Shore Patrol.
yeah.
Basically, like I mean, you have your standard MAs out and about doing. You also have people from the ships as well. So they
Yeah,
ha-
this
they have them provide so that way. We're basically like what's it called? Like the old program was like the shipmates program, where
uh-huh.
basically you wore like the stuff that you would if you were like selling cell phones.
Oh.
Selling cell
Yeah.
phones, or maybe going to like some place that's slightly like formal casual or something like that. Like the button shirts and like the
Oh,
khakis and stuff like that. So
that that that's what you
that
had
was
to wear as just a
yeah.
regular guy going out. You were like
No, that
designated
was that was part of like the shipmates program where you're supposed to be
watching
in
out.
watching out. But the thing is,
Okay.
it didn't work out so well. So
Yeah.
we basically switched it over to where we're in uniform,
Yeah.
patrolling the streets, looking for sailors, doing stupid
Right.
stuff, and sometimes Marines, depending on
Yeah.
if we get some Marines on board.
Right.
But Marines have their own shore patrol that they provide as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah,
and
that's what this was. It was called. I think they actually the formal name for the base was like the Courtesy Patrol because of course we had the
yeah,
MPs, who would
hmm
would go out with their weapons, often or not often, sometimes because they're little touchy to have guns outside off the
yeah,
base. Ooh. But
yeah. They don't have. I don't think they
sometimes,
have firearms or anything like that for us. They have
yeah,
like batons and stuff like that. Other
yeah,
means of crowd control if it gets too
right.
riotous.
Yeah, so that they would. So it wasn't the MPs. It was usually just like I said, they would be in camis and they would have like this armband thing that would say like Camp Hansen, Courtesy Patrol or whatever, And of course they got their ranks so that you can, they can see that it's staff NCO or above, and usually sometimes they would have like a sergeant to be like assistant or whatever, but
Yeah.
but and then of course some lieutenant would be like the commander for that night. So they would have these guys, patrolling out, in the streets and the bars there, making sure that Private Smuckatelli or Sergeant Shithead wouldn't,
Yeah.
be doing stupid stuff and causing issues. So we had that even back then before all these other incidents kicked off and caused people to go more even up in arms about the U.S. military and its presence in Japan. And
Yeah.
so I'm sure they're continuing with that and have added more the programs. It's the last. I spilled too much of it. It's a
Oh
shame.
man.
It's a crime.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
they have that's like the main program, and I guess the good thing about it is that if we do see people out there getting a little too crazy, we can take control of them rather than them,
yeah,
going out and possibly hurting Japanese nationals or
right,
causing an international incident or something like that.
right.
So
That's
that's our means of de-escalating the situation.
right. And that's another thing that again, this is for the YouTubers. I mean, we know what it's about. So it's the point of this video is to get it out to others that don't know.
Exactly.
Is that in the military, uh, it's a 24-hour, 7-day a week job. You sign the contract. It's not like, okay, I'm going to be a Marine, I'm going to be a sailor from 9 to 5 or whatever. 24/7, baby.
Yeah.
Even if you're on your own vacation, you take leave. You apply for leave. If something kicks off, national crisis, whatever, they can call your ass back and say,
Mhm.
hey, congratulations, your liberty, your vacation time is secured. Get your ass back to base now.
Yep. Yep.
So, and so it's 24/7, and out in town on Liberty too. If a senior personnel sees someone who's obviously in the military, screwing up, they can say, "Hey, I'm Sergeant or Chief so and so or Colonel whatever, and your liberty's secured. Get, let me see your ID card. Your ass needs to get back to base." so we can police our own 24/7. So
Yeah, totally.
and I had one little kind of minor incident, whatever. I kind of had wish I had been in at the time because I was getting off of a train somewhere and I saw three young, obviously U.S. military. I'm guessing that they were Navy by location because I think this was around north of Yokosuka, but maybe Shinagawa, might have been Shinagawa Station, which is kind of like the
Oh, okay.
changing point, so around there.
Yeah,
But these guys, it was like only 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock at night. But these guys got off the train. They were being loud, and you could tell their faces were red, and they were drunk already. And they were being loud, and I just kind of looked at them, not giving them a shitty look like, but still just like kind of dudes, being a little bit loud. I didn't say anything. I just looked at one guy, and the guy walked past, and he's like, "What?
yeah,
You want to go, bro? You what? And I kind of wish I'd been active duty. I'd have been like, yeah, let me see your ID card right now, So, because,
yeah,
I mean, I'm guessing even at, I only made, my highest rank was Sergeant E5, but I'm guessing they probably was like no more than, E3 at the most, just by their age, and their behavior. So, but,
yeah. We had a couple guys like that over the weekend. I mean, it wasn't quite. They weren't like being super loud.
yeah,
They were still like drinking on the train and
yeah,
playing cell phone clips and stuff like that from like
yeah.
YouTube, and I'm like,
And I do what he just said to him was
guys,
like, guys, go have a good time, but just, don't be so loud on the train. Watch out for each other and don't get stupid.
yeah,
Very simple. So,
yeah,
and when I was on Okinawa, we had our colonel there. We called him LL Cool J because his name was Lieutenant Colonel Cooley. And so
oh,
you
nice,
see, and yeah, and not only that, his initials was JL Cooley. So LL Cool J, perfect nickname for him. And so his thing was like, 3 rules. Remember my 3 rules. Don't drink too much. Go out with a friend, come back with a friend. Nothing good happens after midnight. So those were his 3 rules, but he didn't make them orders. So we didn't have to go out, with a friend. We could go out by ourselves, and same thing. I could go out at 2 in the morning, and I'll come back at 4. Did that a couple times.
yeah,
Yeah. One night I was on mess duty one night. I was a friend, good friend of mine from my unit was heading back home, rotating back to the States, and so it went out his last night out, just me and him basically. Was up till like 3:30 in the morning, and I had like mess duty at like 4:30. So I
oh,
back to base. I was drunk as hell, like, even coming back on duty. So I tried to avoid any like senior NCOs or regular mess personnel, and just till I sobered up. But yeah, a little dangerous there, but good times.
oh yeah, definitely.
But
Wow.
yeah,
Well, it is
so
getting to be about that time. I gotta get
yeah, I
up early in
think
the morning, so
right. Yeah, I think we've got most of the things I just wanted to get out there. It's a lot more restricted than people think, and it's even more so now. It was back when I was in, more so now. Like I said, you got this buddy program thing,
yeah,
and you just can't do what you want, despite the Japanese presses and maybe popular opinion that we're just out there, you know, drinking and getting crazy, and with no repercussions thereof. There most certainly are repercussions, and
yeah,
the big term, at least for the military, was, oh, was alcohol involved? If whatever happened, okay, well, alcohol related incident, it reflects on your
yeah.
career and or prevents you from being able to re-enlist.
Mhm.
And of course
Yeah.
it was, go ahead.
ARIs nowadays are career killers now.
Yeah, exactly. And and of course, if it's worse enough, well, congratulations. Here's your new room at the brig and or Japanese prison.
Yeah.
So
Get yourself a big chicken dinner.
yeah. That's another one. That's the same across both services. The big chicken dinner, otherwise known as the bad conduct discharge. So
Yep.
that means you dicked up pretty good. Not enough to maybe raid a court martial, but enough to where, sorry, you're out, and you're going to have civilian repercussions beyond that.
Yeah.
Because
They won't be able to get a job at McDonald's either.
right, yeah, a lot of even fairly so-called low-level jobs like that. If you have served in the military but got less than honorable discharge or less than general discharge, then sorry, we're not hiring you.
Yeah.
No VA loans, none of the benefits that you get from the military. If you screw up enough, those get taken away. So no federal jobs, no state jobs, no law enforcement. Anything that requires a security clearance. So those all become, bye-byes. They go bye-bye if you get a bad conduct discharge or less than honorable discharge in the military. So people
Yeah.
don't know that.
Yeah, you gotta play it safe.
Yeah, and so that's when I'm glad we brought this up to have this,
Yeah.
video to kind of put the rules you lived under, the rules I lived under. So,
And hopefully
so
we'll have guests on in
yeah,
future episodes as well. I just wanted this episode to be like the inaugural episode, just you and me, talking
mm,
about our different times in the Navy, or my time in the Navy, your time in the
yeah,
Corps,
yeah,
and hopefully we'll bring on more guests, including
sure,
maybe more current active duty military members, maybe
right,
spouses,
right.
people like that, so they can share their story as well.
Mm,
So,
yeah,
and if you guys out there have any particular input, like maybe questions or suggestions, something like that, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, which I'll get
yeah,
to at the end of this broadcast. So if you haven't
yes,
been already leaving comments and stuff, I apologize. We just been talking here, so we'll,
yeah.
yeah, we'll get to that after the broadcast.
Right.
So,
And don't be a dick, because I mean,
yeah, don't be a dick.
it gains you nothing. If you want to insult us personally, like, okay, whatever you think about me, whatever you think about Andy, whatever it does to make you feel better about your life, you're totally correct. We're totally gay fag losers. I never was in the Corps. Whatever you want to believe, whatever, buddy. Fine. Believe what you want, but
Yeah. Whatever
so
floats your boat.
yeah, exactly. But it works better to have a mature interaction. So you got questions, we'd love to answer it. Any things I may have misspoken, by all means, point them out. And just consider it as a conversation between two people in a bar. And let me know what you think. So look forward to it. Yeah.
All right. So with that said, this
Yep.
is the Andy-san signing off from
And
Yokosuka. Thank you
Bushido Bill.
guys
Yep.
for tuning into this broadcast, and here's to future broadcasts.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, try to get more of these, and while you're still here. And another thing, you said you were back in Yoyogi today, so let me
Yeah.
know, because I'll be signing off from Shinjuku, tiny little town where no one lives.
Yeah.
So yeah, so let's definitely have more of these. Maybe do collab videos on the outside, not just webcam. So.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Cool. So yeah, give us your comments, give us your questions, and we'll look forward to hearing some good interaction from you guys. Cool?
Sounds good.
All right.
As
Cool.
always, we'll see you next time.
Next time. Later.
Next time. Bye, guys.
All right. See ya.
And we're signing off.